One of the things that really sets Skid Pro apart when it comes to earth augers is the auger bits themselves. Wanted to give you a little more detail about how we build, why we do what we do, and also cover a lot of the different options that some of you may not be familiar with. First and foremost, it starts with our boss collar overlap weld. The tube is actually inserted up into the boss collar, and it's fully welded 360 degrees around with a fillet weld. That weld is so much stronger than the traditional butt weld of joining two pieces of tube together. So from a strength standpoint, that's a night and day difference. Then as we go down, like we talked about before, 65,000 yield strength tube, not pipe. Costs a little bit more, much stronger. And of course, when you're down in the hole, if you've ever done any augering, you know it's easy when you're pulling out to get some soil out and knock off and then go back down in the hole. It's easy to get crooked and hit that hole not perfect. That's when we want the strength and durability of the tube versus the pipe. Less chance to bend, tweak, or damage that bit. Then we'll step down to flighting. Now the flighting is twofold. First, it's a heavy-duty flighting, all US made flighting. This is 5/16 inch thick, so very thick that adds to the durability and strength. One of the things you may hear out there is the difference between double flighting and single flighting. And this can be a little deceiving. The double flighting appears to be bigger. There's two flights, that's the double. One starts on this side and one starts on this side. And so what you do is you end up getting more spiraling. The single flight, though, we've found is advantageous both from a productivity standpoint, but mostly from full cleanout. It will actually carry more soil when you're pulling out of the hole to knock off and then go back in, which means you're going to take fewer bit removals to get that hole at the same depth. And to maybe make it a little clearer is on a single flighting, it's say about a 30-degree angle down from the stem of the auger. Where with a double flighting, you're going to be closer to say a 45-degree angle. So what happens is when you're in that hole and everything's turning, that auger spoil or dirt spoil will run off the auger with double flighting more than the single flighting. So that's where we predominantly gain our productivity, is by carrying more spoil out of the hole and having less cleanouts to get that hole to depth. As we go down from the flighting, we already talked about the heavy-duty cast cutting edge. One of the things you'll notice right away that you're able to accomplish with the cast cutting edge is the different angles of the teeth. And of course, a cast head is going to be uniform and perfect every single time versus hand-laid and welded. Instead of a straight line and just punching holes with bolt-on teeth, the cast head again gets to have an aggressive tooth configuration on both sides, and that's going to be more effective digging in tougher ground conditions, rocky conditions, frozen ground, you name it. Now, here we've got some different tooth options. On the auger bit right now is the standard hammer end tooth. You can easily change it out to a hard face tip for more abrasive soils, or a carbide tip tooth for a better bite. Changing out the teeth is quick and easy. We'll show you real quick. You just need a hammer and a punch. Tap on each side, and the tooth falls out. The wisdom teeth on the outside have an oblong shape, but other than that, they're the same. You knock them out and you replace the tooth of your choice. One thing to mention is there is a rubber gasket that goes in the teeth before putting them back in. That just helps to lock them in firmly until you use it, and then normally the dirt and grime kind of builds up and that kind of locks that tooth, prevents that from coming out in the hole. Put it back in, you simply hammer in reverse. The extra large cast fishtail rounds out the heavy-duty bit construction. We get lots of questions though on other auger bit styles. So here are a few of our most popular ones. We'll start with the rock bit. There's certain areas in the country that you need to punch a hole and there's a rock there and it doesn't matter, you got to go through it. Predominantly this is in Texas or areas of limestone underneath the soil. The rock bit has a cast head again. That allows us that precise location of every single tooth so we get the optimal ground engaging, grinding aspect to the teeth. When it comes to auger bits, it is absolutely critical we get down pressure. So the bigger machine, the better. And this is also where some guys that are drilling consistently on a commercial level in rocky country all the time, they're the ones that get that heavy quick attach plate, what we call our ballast plate, with the added 2,500 pounds of weight. It sounds overkill, but when we can put all that weight onto that auger head, the drive can handle it, the drive can turn it. The more weight, the faster we'll cut through that rock. It's also important to get enough weight to allow these Kennametal teeth to actually rotate so they don't get worn on one side. This is very similar to the Kennametal teeth in our asphalt tools, our cold planer and wheel saw. These teeth need to be able to turn in order to stay sharp, if you will, and do their most effective job cutting through that limestone and rock. Here, again, because of the way it's designed, we do have a double flight, so it kind of shows you the difference on this double flight. Now here's our even more popular tree shrub bit. Of course, it has the same heavy-duty construction with the boss collar overlay and fillet weld versus traditional butt weld. It has the same 65,000 yield tube instead of the pipe. But down here in the working end is where it gets a little unique. This has an 18-inch wide bit to start. It's double flighted by nature because we need that as it flares up to the bigger 36-inch. And this does two things. One, if you're planting small shrubs, all you want is an 18-inch hole. You're only going to be going about 2 feet deep or less. So you punch the bottom portion in. You never engage the bigger part of the flighting and the upper part of the bit. If, on the other hand, you're planting a larger tree, then you'll simply punch it all the way down 3 to 4 feet. You'll get a 36-inch wide cut up top. You'll get 18 down below. And it helps also in its design to limit compaction, and that will give a better chance for the root to grow and the tree to survive. This is a very popular bit for us. Now we're going to go to the puff bit. This is not a very popular bit. This is one where you're looking to drive a T-post into ground you can't drive a T-post in. So normally rocky or solid rock limestone, this just opens up a big enough gap and then you can push in that post by hand or with the bucket. Now we're going to look over here at both extensions and adapters. You can see here how heavy duty this extension is. This is a 4-foot extension. So here's the 2-inch hexagon male input shaft. Of course, here's your extension portion. This is a whopping 3.5 inches in diameter. This tube is made of 65,000 yield strength. Goes right into the fillet weld and the boss coupler overlap. Again, very important. As you drop down into the earth, you're getting into tougher, more compacted, more rocky soils. This is such a more durable extension than a variable. Again, we only do the fixed simply from a strength and durability standpoint. Here's an adapter. Adapters are pretty straightforward and simple. This one is a hexagon output shaft from the auger into 2 9/16 round. This is one that's common because back in the day when we had chain reduction drives, The round to round was shear protection. So we have a lot of old round 2 9/16 inch bits out there. And of course we want guys to still be able to use them. The hexagon is much more durable, just a better overall output shaft. But again, there's a lot of round bits floating. So by using an adapter, we can use old bits on our new auger drive. That's just a few of the options that we have on our auger bits and head configuration. If you have any questions on your specific situation, give us a call, 877-378-4642, and a product guru will gladly help get answers to your questions.